and others might filter in as we're starting. It's so great to see all of you. So, a couple of very quick housekeeping things. We will be recording, but your faces won't be seen. So you can speak, we'll hear you, but your faces won't be on the recording. You're very welcome to use the chat, although there will be times Sophie will ask if you want to unmute, and you're very welcome to do that. And if you stay until the end, we have something a little special for you today. So we'll share that at the end. Okay, everyone. I am going to embarrass Sophie just a little bit. She doesn't know I'm doing this. And today I'm going to introduce Sophie by introducing myself. My name is Abby. I'm really honored to say today that I work with Sophie at Access to Awareness. But the only reason that I work with Sophie is because she changed my entire life. When I met Sophie, I was depressed, lonely, isolated. I had no direction in my life, and I felt completely lost. I had actually done a lot of spiritual work at the time that I met Sophie. I had my spiritual awakening at 18, and I didn't meet Sophie until 10 years after that. But I was still feeling like I wasn't in the driver's seat of my own life at that time. I looked around my life and I didn't like what I saw. Sophie was a laser sharp, honest, loving, compassionate gift who entered my life at the most perfect moment. She helped me get to the source, the actual origin of my patterns, and she helped me access my freedom. I know that might sound a little far-fetched, or maybe you've heard things like that before, but it's the truth. Sophie is a master. She gave my life back to me after I had given myself away for so long. She gave me personal power. She gave me choice. She gave me awareness. And for that, I am forever indebted to Sophie, lovingly and freely. So it is my honor today to introduce you to Sophie McLean. Sophie is a wisdom teacher of 35 years who's worked with more than 80,000 of us fellow human beings who have had similar results as I have. We've gotten our lives back. So Sophie McLean has been a helicopter pilot, a designer, a relief worker, a war refugee, and a CEO. She's been shot at, shipwrecked, and widowed. She's lived on a farm, a boat, a penthouse, and an ashram. She's worked with the United Nations. She has 2 master's degrees in philosophy. She's written 2 books. And today she calls herself a wisdom teacher. So I encourage you to be fully engaged today and enjoy being here with Sophie. And I'm going to welcome her now onto the screen.
All right. Hello, everybody. Hello, 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 hello. That was quite an introduction. I'm looking at all your faces. Welcome. Most of you are used to my accent. Abby, thank you. It was a lovely introduction. I now have to deliver, right? Okay. Everybody, people will be coming in because we have, I think, about 75 people that said they wanted to attend. So they will probably come in. So there is a little beep. I don't know if we can take off that beep, Abby, but we can't. Okay, good. So get used to it. It's good news.
I think it's just us who can hear it, Sophie. So no problem.
Okay, good. And everybody, I put this call together inside of my commitment to make a difference in the world, right? So this, Abby and I designed this course so that you can get an experience of what is possible when you realize and learn about the main pattern of what it is to be human. Because people, and Abby shared it beautifully, she had done 10 years, she's very young, she had done 10 years of spiritual work and awareness work and searching and educating herself. But if you don't have the basic of what it is to be a human being, whatever you do is on top of something. You know, it's very, the company where I worked before used to say it's like you have mud, you turn the mud in the shape of a cake, then you put icing on the mud, and then you pretend it's a cake. No, it will always be icing on the mud, right? So what I provide for people is that it's a real cake. No more mud. Now, so that's the point of this call, that you choose to do my course or not, I am committed that you know something extraordinary is possible. Right? So I like to have interactive calls, so ask question, interact with me either by putting it in the chat or unmuting yourself. I don't mind being interrupted. I just like conversation rather than a solo show, right? So here is what I think would make the biggest difference. There is 5 patterns, 5 design mechanism of what it is to be a human being, that if you know them, get to the source of them, own them, then you will be able to turn the mud into a real cake. It's just the beginning, because after that you have the rest of your life to practice and master and grow and elevate. But there is 5 patterns, and I want to give you a very clear idea of 4 of them on this call. So it will help if you take a piece of paper and a pen, and I'm going to take you through the construction and the design of what I called your cage. People, and the first thing I would like you to do is to see if it fits for you. You know there is something absolutely extraordinary inside of you that wants to be expressed. You know there is like this kind of wave inside of you for the extraordinary, right? A yearning for the extraordinary, like there must be something else, but there is a stop. One doesn't know how to express it, to access it, to be what we call free without knowing exactly what it means. That stop, I call it a cage. So there is many different shape and form of cages, right? I just had a student session before I talked to you, and her cage was gilded. Lots of cushions, lot of antiques furniture, beautiful Persian rugs, but it's a cage. So a cage that it's rusted or gilded is a cage. A cage is a cage is a cage. The point is to get out of the cage. Okay? So to start this conversation, what is needed is for you to have a commitment that you're going to tell yourself the truth. You don't have to tell anybody else, right? But you tell yourself the truth. Do not answer my question with how you wish it was or how good it looked if it was that. Right? I want you to get down and dirty in the mud. We need to get to the mud, okay? And the second thing that I need from you is to have fun, because this call can be the start of something extraordinary for you, okay? So to have fun, I decided to put it under the context of a play. So I want you to imagine your life as a play, as a theater play, or even as a film. I think it works as well, right? But let's take a theater play. So imagine you, the writer, you're now a writer, you're going for the play of the century, and you need a few things to be able to write a play. You need a genre. You need a main character. You need a supporting cast. I would like you to write those as headings with some space in between each, right? The genre, the main character, the supporting cast, and of course, the script. If you have that, you'll have a play, right? So the first thing we're going to start with is the main character. So the main character is obviously the character you refer to when you use the word I, right? I am whatever. I am good. I am bright. I am strong. I am a manipulator. I, right? So I would like you to take a few minutes to write down the characteristic of the I in your life, starting around the age, a young age, right? Like 4, 5, 6, all the way to today. You will see there is really some characteristic to the persona you are embodying. Are you nice? Are you a people pleaser? Are you strong? Are you analytical, strategic? Are you reserved, withdrawn? Do you have a sense of humor? Are you curious? Are you a perfectionist? How would you characterize your main character? When you by yourself, or you plan your life, or you drive away from people, what is this main character looking like, right? So you want to imagine being on the stage in your play and you're alone. There is no supporting cast, there is no circumstances, no script yet. There is a main character that walks in. All right, who wants to share with me? Some of you will know straight away what are your characteristics. And then when you share with me, I will ask you 1 or 2 questions. All right, I'll share mine so that I'll show you. My main character, the best way I could describe her is kind of superwoman, right? Like really strong, but I use superwoman because she wanted to save the world. Right? So what characterized my character was superwoman is always alone, right? You've never seen superwoman hanging out with other buddies. Superwoman is on a roof looking for who to save. And she's always in the urgent tragedy, difficult situation. that is what I needed for my main character. I needed, earthquake in LA, the plane in the towers in New York, a war when I was a child. That was my main character. Right? Now, and I'm going to ask you those questions. The advantage of it is really there was not much that my character couldn't deal with, right? So it's very useful to be strong, and because, whatever life throws at you, you can deal with it. There is an enormous inconvenience, loneliness, totally solitary, cannot share emotion, cannot share heartbreak, right? So there is no sharing, no connection other than the connection of gratefulness when you save somebody's life. That was the main character, right? So do you see there is always 2 sides to everything, right? There is what works and what doesn't work. No judgment, nothing, but you definitely have a main character. And I knew I could count on myself to be strong. There was absolutely no doubt in my mind. So there must be no doubt in your mind. Like Abby, if you don't mind Abby is nice. Whatever situation you put Abby in, everybody loves Abby. She's nice, right? So isn't it great? She's loved by everybody, which makes me pale with jealousy, being in my character of being alone, right? But there is a pitfall, is that when you're nice, you don't tell the truth, because you don't want to hurt people's feelings. You don't want to take risk. You don't want to take a stand. So you're just nice. So instead of telling someone, this is unacceptable, you need to stop, you're just nice about it. Right? So do you see there is always a side that works and the side that doesn't work? All right, who would like to share with me about your main character, or do you have any questions? Randy.
So I think I got something mixed up. Actually, I think this is just part of it. So, is this when we're 5, you said? Like 5 years old?
It's all throughout your life, but you start to build the main character at around the age of 5.
Okay, so here we go. So, angry, free, brat, stubborn, um, and the advantage is to get my way.
No, so hang on, stay with me, Randy. So a brat, angry, all that is another mechanism. That's the fifth one that I thought we wouldn't talk about, right? That's what has life not work.
Okay.
We're talking about the side that has life work, right? So what kind of, if you had one word to describe yourself as a quality, which one would that be?
It would be at that age shy.
No, shy is also a destructive mechanism. It's a lack of confidence. Just look, forget about the age, Randy. Throughout your entire life, what kind of guy you are you?
Mostly nice.
Yeah, there it is. Look at the smile. I can get that. Look at you. Your entire face tells it. You're nice, right? So you can tell us what the advantage of being nice. Look at this face. Who can resist this face? You have the same face as Abby. Look at Abby. She's smiling the same smile. It's irresistible, right? But what doesn't work about it?
Doesn't work about it. What doesn't work about it is I'll keep saying yes until I get angry.
That's right. And you go to the other side, which is destructive, right? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're nice, and then at one point you can't stand it anymore. Let me break everything so I can get out, right? Yeah. So that's the cage I'm talking about. Because what cage? What cage? People say, what cage? Well, nice doesn't seem to be a cage because what we don't look is the other side of it. Because it's automatic, right? I had one of my students that had a sense of humor. This poor man went to funerals and cracked jokes. He couldn't stop it. It was so automatic because the way he made it in life and he survived was by being funny. So whatever circumstances he was in, he made jokes. So he was embarrassed so often, you know. That's the cage I'm talking about. Well done, Randy. Really well done. Thank you for sharing and talking to me. Is there anybody else that wants to talk to me? Rhiannon, Hawaii to the rescue. Come on, right? What is your main character? Hi.
I wrote down resourceful and strategic.
All right. So if someone has a problem, you're going to find a solution.
Yeah.
Right?
Or if, like, I have a problem too, yeah.
Yeah. So that seems to be really good, right? Because the world as we know it is filled with problems, right? So being resourceful seems to be really great. But what's the pitfall?
I'm always trying to survive everything and trying to, like, find how to be okay. Like, there's always got to be a problem.
Yeah, it's like me, right? I needed to be able to save everybody. I needed tragedies. You need problems to find solutions.
Yeah.
So let's have a difficult life so I can really be resourceful.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there is no point in the main character, right?
Yeah.
And what else? There is one more thing which you can see that is a downfall. I'll tell you what it is. When you're resourceful, Rhiannon, tell me if that's how it is for you. When you're resourceful, people come to you a lot for you to come up with solution for them. And that means that they get weaker around you because they don't do the work themselves. Does that happen to you or not too much?
I think maybe a little bit. I'd have to sit with that and, like, really look and see if that's actually,
so maybe more than resourceful, your main character will be strategic.
Yeah.
Right? Strategic is planning. Resourceful is solving.
Yeah.
Right?
I think
So
it's like the two. But
all
yeah.
right, a mix of the two. Okay, very good. Great, Rhiannon, thank you for playing the game. Okay, one more. Dawn,
Yeah.
can you put your video, Dawn? I can't call you if I don't have a video. Is that possible?
Oh, sure. Just a second.
Thank you. It's very difficult for me to talk to people if I don't
There
see
you go.
you.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Okay. I know usually I'm the nice girl also, but one of the other things I do is I'm a chameleon. Quite often I'm a chameleon, so I can, adapt myself to almost any situation people are in, and I can, blend in with whatever territory I'm in, to whatever situation I'm in,
Yeah,
and I'm
and
very
that sounds
adaptive.
so great, right? It sounds so great. Oh, if only I was adaptable. I can meet anybody, any culture, any walk of life, I'll adapt, right? But what's the cost? Where is the cage?
I don't know who I truly am then. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
It's as if you're living your life for others. Then who am I? Right?
Exactly. Mhm.
Yeah. And how does that feel, Dawn? Confusing, lost? How do you feel? Like
Yeah.
so much of your energy focused on fitting in with others that you don't know who you are. What kind of experience of being alive?
Right, exactly. Well, like for example, for the last 12 years I've been taking care of my dad, it's just living my life for others all the time. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So do you have the experience like you don't have a life?
In some ways, yeah.
Okay, very well seen.
Mhm.
Very well seen. Don't forget there is both sides. Those mechanisms that we're talking about are actually winning mechanism. Winning, but winning at what? Not at
cost?
being
Yeah.
alive, winning at surviving,
Mhm.
right? And you survive a danger. You do not need to survive a butterfly.
Mhm.
When there is a butterfly, you can look at the color of the wings and at the movement of the flight, and it's all beautiful and you're present. But if I remove the butterfly and put a rhinoceros, then it's survival time. You are not going to look at the beauty of the beast. You're going to survive because your life is in danger, right?
Mhm.
So those mechanisms that we're talking about, those are the one that helps you survive.
Mhm.
Right? And the question you should have in your mind right now is survive what?
Right.
What am I surviving? There is no rhinoceros in front of me. Okay,
Mhm.
we'll go back to that one. All right, so everybody, any questions or do we move on to the supporting cast? I can take one more if you have. Dima, I think you have your hand. Where is Dima? She.
No, it's okay.
Are you there?
It was just a question. Yeah.
Well, if you have a question, Dima, go ahead.
No, I don't have any questions. I was going to share.
Oh, okay, very good. I'll come back to you then for this one. All right,
Okay,
so
thank
you have the main character, right? Strategic or resourceful or nice or adaptable or a chameleon or strong, whatever your main character most important characteristics are, it works and there is a cost to it. And then to have your play, you need to create a relationship to the supporting cast. So the thing that I really like about that play, the image of the play, is that the main character never gets fired, right? You are always the star of your life. So you never, ever have to worry about getting fired, even if some of you wish you could, but you cannot. The supporting cast, on the other hand, can be fired at will, right? So if you notice in your relationship with other people, like imagine you're going to a party or you're going to a meeting at work, you are known for something. People will say, oh yeah, you are like that, because there is a very specific way you put together a way of being that you use in your relationship with people. Some of you are charming, some of you are smart, some of you are in control, some of you are charismatic, right? Friendly. You have a very specific way you relate to the supporting cast. Now, there is your friends are the people that love the stories of the main character, by the way. You know, the friends, the people you have around you are the one that really, really, really like the main character image and the main character stories and all that. If someone doesn't accept your main character anymore, you fire them, right? Let's tell the truth here. So there is a lot of movement with the supporting cast, right? So what is your way of that you use in your relationship with others? And others is one person or more, right? But there is a very specific way. So for example, mine is courageous. I'm like stoic, courageous. People can misbehave, hurt my feeling, break my heart. I can be in watching orphans, taking care of little children dying of hunger, and you will not see one emotion from me. Right? You see how well it goes with a superwoman, right? I'm dying inside, but I will never show my emotions to others. Now, that's really good, again, if I have to deal with terrible situation, because it's not about me, it's about the others. But the cost is that I'm dying inside and nobody knows. I have no warmth. I can't even ask for support, let alone for a hug. You know, it was impossible inside of my cage, impossible. Huh? And you can see, if you look at your relationship to the supporting cast, it's got the same flavor. It fits with your main character. You know, if your main character is nice, your relationship to the supporting cast will not be analytical. No, it will be more like friendly or a people pleaser. You know, it will fit. There is a pattern that you want to see develop, right? So how do you relate to the supporting cast, meaning the other human beings? Who would like to share? Okay, Dima, go on. Oh, Dima.
Hi, everyone.
Hey,
So
Dima.
good to see you all. And I always get really, real kick of happiness when I see you guys. It's really lovely. Okay, so I've got my notes up from my course. So I'm cheating. I don't remember them by heart.
All right, Dima took my course, everybody, so she's going to tell you. Okay, tell us, Dima, what is your relationship?
Yeah, my relationship with the cast is that I'm Brian, and it covers up my thought that I'm weird.
So we didn't hear because you cut off, Dima. What's your compensation?
Okay. It's being brave, strong and brave.
So you're strong and brave, right? So again, how great does it sound? Isn't that great in the world we live in to be brave? What's the cost?
Definitely that when I fail, particularly, I get very, very embarrassed. Very embarrassed. It almost like, also it just occurred to me what you just said, which is I rarely ask for a hug for myself. And I just realized that now as he's speaking. So yeah, I don't ask for, for emotional support.
Yeah, and Dima, don't you feel like people don't know you because you're always so brave? People think you're just the strongest woman there is on the planet, right? Meanwhile, oh, can somebody please see me? I need a hug, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Great. Okay, Renee. You are muted, Renee. It's on the bottom left-hand corner, I think. Well, there, well done.
Better?
Yeah.
Is that working? Okay. Hi.
Yes.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
So, so I put down, my way of being with my supporting cast would be I'm friendly, I'm helpful, and I'm funny. That's how I am.
So it's a wide spectrum, right? So what is your main character? What do you think?
My main character is friendly.
Friendly, right? So
friendly.
then with the supporting cast, you will still be friendly, but you would add something. Is it helpful or is it?
Yeah, I guess if between funny and helpful, helpful.
Okay, so it helps, right? I mean, it works, right? Because people love to have helpful friends and helpful family member. How marvelous. Why does Sophie say it's a cage? Okay, tell us why it's a cage.
So it's a cage because when I'm not in the mood to be helpful, I get a bad response.
And aren't you exhausted?
Get a little pushback, like, what do you mean?
And aren't you exhausted?
Well, I'm exhausted in general. Yeah, I'm always
But
exhausted.
you know how tiring my best friend here is helpful. She is exhausted all the time because she helps everybody.
Yeah, I'm tired all the time.
Yeah. Well, did you ever want to do something about that? Or do you think that's the way life is? I mean, I'm 63 years old and I'm not tired. You're much younger than me and you're tired.
Not much. I'm coming up on 60 this December.
We look good.
You look good. You look good.
All right. There is a possibility
turning
of being
gray. My head is turning blue. You can't.
Yeah.
So
Renee, there is a possibility.
I would like to be able to not be tired. Would just be,
a miracle.
Yeah, it would be absolutely incredible.
That's why people ask me, why should I do your course? I said, don't be complicated. You're not going to suddenly start levitating or just, I don't know, what people wish they could do, right? Or speak to angels, or you might, but not because of what but imagine I want you to imagine stepping out of the cage would be like stepping into a world where you know nothing about. You would be like a child looking around thinking, well, how is life outside of the cage? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's very well done. Very well done. Very, very well done, Renee.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, one more person who has the hand, or you can put your name in this chat.
Randy,
Randy, go ahead.
Mine would just be a repeat of Renee's, so maybe someone else.
You are also helpful?
Yeah, so I'll just relationship with the cast, helping, have answers. I took the resourceful. So what it looks like is I save at work. I'll save files that other people won't save, and then they'll come to me because I know that they know that I That's the mess.
Yeah, you're helpful.
Says, why is your desk always a mess? Everybody else is always clean.
Yeah.
That's like one example.
And it goes perfectly with nice, right? I mean, just perfectly. You're starting to have the flavor of your play, right? So perfectly done. Perfectly done. All right. One more. No, two more, but first the one. All right, the script. Okay, so the script is the circumstances you have in your life. That's how you will get your script, right? So do you know how I said to you, okay, I'm a kind of superwoman that is stoic and doesn't show any emotion, and I have a lot of tragedies in my life, right? That is what keeps repeating itself until I transformed, right? So the way I deal with life and all those tragedies, being a superwoman that doesn't share emotion, is by being resourceful. Right? So, you know, when you're in a war or when you're in an earthquake or whatever, I'm not showing my emotion to other people. We know that. I'm superwoman. I want to save everybody. How am I going to do that? Oh, resourceful is really good. And there I get my cage. Right? So look first for what keeps repeating itself in your life. What kind of circumstances? But for example, I had tragedy, right? But you can have traumas. Tragedies and traumas are different, right? You can have people being in need. Like you can have a life filled, especially the helpful one, people totally lost and depressed that needs your help. See what keeps repeating in your life. You can go from failure to failure to failure to failure, right? You do well, you fail, you do well, you fail, you do well, you fail. That could be a pattern. And then see how you deal with those circumstances. That will be your script. Right? So if you look at my play, you can totally get it, right? It will be a play where there is one tragedy after the next. And I could play all those roles depending of who I am with. And all right, any questions? If you don't find it, I can coach you through it if it's difficult for you to see. All you have to do is a hand so I can see you. I'll let you time to find out. What keeps
Miriam has a hand up.
Who has a hand up?
Hi, I'm Miriam.
Miriam, I don't see you. Hang on. I don't know why I don't see you. Miriam, where are you? Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so like you mentioned, there's like tragedies and then circumstances, challenges of life that I've overcome. And so how is it that now when I am in a good place, I don't know how to get out of saving other people constantly? And this, I feel, in some sense, depletes me. And I need to work for me. I'm constantly working for other people. I guess the resourcefulness, I think that's an element. And trying to fix or create spaces or safe spaces for others to voice their narratives, to voice their traumas, their tragic challenges, their resiliencies and stuff like that. However, I haven't honed in on my abilities, on my skills, and I want to put myself in that platform where I can also, you know, people can learn from me and you know.
Yes. So
Yeah.
it's very profound what you're saying, Miriam, right? So when you get to know me, you'll see I speak quite a lot, but I go round and then I come back to you, to your questions, okay? So your main character is, just give me one word, helpful or strong or what?
I think strong, resilient.
Okay, resilient. The relationship to the supporting cast?
Resourceful, maybe.
Yeah, very good. And with all those life circumstances, how do you deal with it?
You overcome them. You stand strong, steadfast.
Yeah, strong, right? Okay, very good. So resilient, resourceful, strong.
Mm-hmm.
And to be, I mean, resilience is a very resilient. To be resilient, what do you need? You need really tough circumstances. It's not by going to the market that you will need to be resilient, right?
Correct.
So somehow you attract of life tough circumstances so that you can be this tough, resilient, strong, resourceful person, right?
Mm.
Well, all your energy goes to survive the circumstances. What you don't even know who you are, right?
Mm.
Because you are in a play. This is not who you are. The play needs to be played. This is why I call it automatic. So if you are in a place where you don't have one of those tough circumstances, you're going to be totally lost, because the play, the cage you have created is designed for those tough circumstances. If you do not have those, you're going to feel lost. You're going to feel useless. You're going to feel without the feeling of being grounded, with no direction. You're going to start saying, but why don't I think of myself? And that is the very cruelty of the trap we put ourselves in. That is the very design of human being. So I don't want to scare you, because there is actually a good news in it. My view of life after 35 years, Miriam and everybody, is that the game of life is that you are born, very quickly you forget who you really are, this divine, glorious essence. You forget who you are. You think you are the main character with the whole cage and the whole play. Every single human being identify with the character in their play and the entire play. And it is so not who you are that it becomes insufferable, and you eventually remember who you really are. And that's the freedom. So you are the place, Miriam, from what I hear, where it's insufferable now. Something needs to give. You see the cage, you need to just go back to yourself, right? So now that's for you to listen to your intuition, to you, what resonates inside of you. I lead my entire work based on this saying from a French mystic called Pierre Teilhard de Chardin that said, you are not a human being having a spiritual experience, you're a spiritual being having a human experience. Who you really are is not your human. You are a soul, what we call a soul or an essence. Some other people call it spirit. And that soul, that essence, that spirit incarnated in a human. The play we're looking at is your human. This is not who you are. You are much bigger than that, much more irresistible and extraordinary than that. You are at this point in your life, like everybody on this call. You do not come on my call if you're not at this point. It's like, okay, which way are you going to go? Are you going to go on trying to fix your human? Or are you going to actually remember who you really are? So there is absolutely nothing wrong with where you are, Miriam. It is a perfect place before the transformation. This is a very place you need to reach before you get out of the cage. So well done. And thank you for your authenticity. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, I'm watching the time because I don't want to over. So one more. We need the genre. So if you look at the genre of your play, right? You look at your main character, you look at your relationship to the supporting cast, you look at your script and how you deal with life. You heard Miriam, Rhiannon, Randy, Dima, you've heard everybody, Renee, right? You heard mine. You know my genre. It's a Greek tragedy. I mean, hello. It's a Greek tragedy. All right, so some of you can have a romantic movie. Some of you can have a TV reality show. Some of you have a science fiction one, an adventure movie, a thriller, a police, I don't know how we call those, you know, suspense movie. You can have, what is your genre? And don't you tell yourself what you wish it was. I think Abby was a Saint Mother Teresa kind of thing, wasn't it, Abby? Something like that. I can't remember. Yeah, Abby was like, she's so nice and so loving. You just want to strangle her.
I think Paula wants to share. Paula, do you want to share? And I
Okay, where is Paula? Paula, go ahead. Thank you, Abby, because I don't see everybody.
Yeah,
Paula,
no problem. Paula in the chat.
Hi, I love your hair, Sophie.
oh,
Seems
thank you.
fun.
Paula and
So
I
good.
have known each other for years, and I have gone white for the
That's
last year.
great.
So
It's fabulous.
thank you.
Thank you for doing this program. And so I was trying to go back and figure out what my character is, and I think it is something along the lines of independent savior or uplifter.
Okay.
And I think that the genre, well, the way it plays out is I'm very actively trying to uplift certain people in my life and be their cheerleader and be friendly and supportive. And then, you know, when I don't support myself, because I'm not giving myself the energy to do that same support, so I'm putting it all into other people, my daughter, whoever, and I end up being sort of bankrupting my own situation. Then I feel like I don't want to ask for help, and I feel very much like I can handle this. I can, you know, I can do this, and then I become a victim of my own play, and I believe that I am in a drama suspense genre because I create these fantastical problems for myself by putting most of my life force energy into supporting and building up others in my life that are important to me, like my daughter, whoever. I create these amazing things for them. Then the support mechanism falls apart because I'm not doing what I need to be doing to take care of and make things sustainable. So it's a pattern, whether my daughter was here or not, I did it anyway. And so she just was a new person to rescue, a new person to save and create this beautiful life for. In the meantime, I am the victim in my...
You Florence Nightingale. That's your genre, the Florence Nightingale of life, right? And Paula, you're describing the cage so well, right? Or the both sides. Yes, it makes you loved. Yes, it makes you useful. Yes, you win at surviving, but there is an enormous cost. Is that you're not fulfilled, you're not satisfied, you're not yourself, you don't even remember most of the time who you really are, right? So very, very well done, very well done. And the genre, everybody, it's like you can't escape it, right? You look at other people's life and you say, well, why is mine, I wish I had that one, right? But no, you know, a cage is a cage is a cage, right? So relax about liking yours or not liking yours. The point is to learn about those four mechanisms: the genre, the main character, the relationship to the supporting cast, the script, and a fifth one, which is called the destructive mechanism, which I will not talk about on this call because otherwise you will all run away. No, I'm joking. It's because it is confronting to see that we can destroy. But Randy said it beautifully, right? He said, when I cannot be nice anymore, I become so angry. And we all have a way to do that. When I can't save everybody anymore inside of my superwoman thing, when I can't stop showing my pain or my heartbreak, I become the whiniest victim you've ever seen. Like disgustingly victimized, whining, right? That's how I destroy, and I blame everybody around me. Of course, I used to do it. I'm so transformed. All right, everybody, we have any questions? Yeah.
I think we have one more. Pat had her hand up. I don't know. Pat, are you still interested in speaking?
Yes, I can share.
No, we don't need sharing. Do you have a question? We at the question now, Pat.
Not right now, but thank you.
You do have a question? What is, can you tell us what your genre is?
Mine?
The genre of your life.
Talent.
Just the genre of your life. Pat?
Oh, my genre is a tragic comedy. Everything is so tragic for the tortured artist who's retreated from the world until it gets ridiculous.
That is so great. Okay, I'm going to acknowledge you for something. Everybody, here's the thing, right? If you can laugh at yourself and at the absurdity of what we just went through, then you know you have a chance to just get out of the cage, because humor and laughter is the way you get free. It's one of the way, right? So Pat, well done for being able to mock yourself like I mock myself. You know, I learned it from the Dalai Lama. I went to listen to him and he was laughing so much that I fell asleep. I literally fell asleep. He was finding everything funny. The next time I went to listen to him, I understood. He was laughing at the absurdity of thinking that this play that we created was real, right? That's what the Buddhists call the illusion and the source of all suffering. So everybody, here is what I wanted to give you. There is obviously much, much, much more than that. It's very profound. The whole course is designed around an experience, not intellectual, not from your mind. You actually experience the stepping out of the cage. Abby is going to tell you how it works, and she has a gift for you and all sort of things. But I really wanted from the bottom of my heart to thank you for being here. Just the fact that you're interested in what is possible in the world makes my heart sing. So I give you one last chance to ask any questions you have of me before I turn the call over to Abby. Is there any question, any comment, anything anybody wants to share? You're very welcome. No, this is going once, twice. Okay, fine. Abby, you'll go.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Just gonna add
have to come on the screen. Oh,
yeah. Hi, everyone. So we have a course coming up. This is what we do in the course, but we do it over 10 weeks. And we actually get to the source of where those patterns started. At what point in your childhood, the exact moment or memory, did this pattern begin for you? And it begins on October 28th and goes through January 20th. We have a few weeks off for Christmas things and Thanksgiving things. And today we have a really special gift because you came to the webinar. So the folks who came to the webinar, you get a 15% off coupon from which ends tomorrow night on the 28th, right? Today's the 27th. So I'll put that in the chat. The coupon is called Fast Action Reward. So I'll just put that right in the chat for you. And I'm very happy to answer any questions if anyone has them about how the course works, date.
Oh, the hours. Did you tell the
sorry.
hours?
I apologize. It's going to be on Saturdays at 12 p.m. Eastern, which is 9 a.m. Pacific, for an hour and a half until 1:30. Does anyone have any questions? You're welcome to unmute if you want.
Or if you have done my course and want to share with everybody what you got, we have 5 minutes left. It will be really great. I see a few of my participants, the faithful ones that are always on my course. I would love to have some sharing from you.
I also have, I'm putting the link in the chat with also the everything you need. Hi, Dima.
Hi, so I'll share something. When we were looking, so I've done the course last year, and when we were looking at the relationship to the cast, Sophie got me clear on the actual incident, which was I was in hospital with leukemia at the time, and I had this dream. I was going through painful therapy, obviously, and I had this dream where I kind of convinced myself that I will not experience pain. But I woke up next day and I really didn't experience pain. But instead of telling people the truth, I just pretended that I'm all brave and I can handle the pain. And it kind of went on for years, and I haven't shared with anyone this incident. But when I shared it on the course, and I realized that it was basically, every time I'm being brave and strong, I was feeling pain and embarrassment. I decided to let myself free, and then I decided to write a book about it. So I wrote a book about it, and I published it on Amazon. Yeah, so yeah, it was very interesting, and I just did a second book, also sharing an experience that was embarrassing for me. And then one of my friends picked up the phone and she said, "Wow, I didn't realize that you had this problem, this and that." And I was like, it was this amazing joy that it's like I was freed to be able to tell the world about my weaknesses or what I thought was weakness, and instead people were just very generous with their views about how I faced it.
Yeah, it's always irresistible, Dima, when somebody is authentic. Most of us think of it as a weakness, but it is actually, you were about 12 when you had leukemia, right? This little 12-year-old having a dream that she didn't have to feel pain is the most inspiring miracle of something we don't understand that will contribute to anybody, right? So what you call weaknesses can only inspire. And everybody knows the saying, the truth shall set you free. Dima, will you please send me the link? Can I get your book, please? Can you send me an email with a link to your book? I'm so inspired.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, okay, I'll do. Thank you.
Sam is on the call. Hey, Sam, are you going to share with us how your life altered?
Yes, thanks. Dima, thank you for that. Sophie, thanks for today, and everybody. I wanted to share a core experience that came out of taking your course that was really very unique. I've done a lot of courses. Nothing had actually landed for me like your course did, and I'll tell you why, what the experience was. All my courses in the past that I participated in, there was always one thing that kept happening after them. I kept suffering. I found different tools, different cool ways to deal with suffering, but I continued to suffer. And in your course, I discovered that thing in my upbringing that makes me bring the suffering back. So I freed myself. And that was really new. There was no, it takes a high level of responsibility after that to create your life. I'm still working through that, but that is one thing I can share with everyone is that is guaranteed. Any of those things that you have that keep coming back, and no matter what you do, they won't go away, whatever course you take, you'll definitely have a huge, huge insight with this course. I did.
Sam, I love you. Thank you so much for sharing. So everybody, this is it. If you do my course, I'll give you my heart, I'll give you my soul, I'll give you everything. You will be mine for 10 weeks. I always promise a result if you do the course the way it's designed. I've never been accused of being boring. Who knows? It might start, but I don't think so. An hour and a half will fly by. 10 sessions, and Abby gave you a gift for 24 hours with 15% off. I will jump in if I were you, but I will be very good. And as always, respect your choice. But don't be a wuss. If you have a resonance about what we said, just jump in. I love you, love you, love you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here, Abby. Thank you for being my partner in crime, my friend, my adopted daughter. Thank you for all your support. I love you with passion, and it makes this adventure, being together, makes it all worthwhile. Everybody, I will see you around the campus.
Yes.
Love, 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 love.
Thank you so much. And don't hesitate to reach out. If you need anything, you can always email me.
Bye.
Thank you very much. Love you.
Love
Bye,
you,
Claire.
Claire.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Have to
Thank
stop the
you.
recording.
Bye.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Abby.
Thank you, Dawn. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Sophie.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
Good to see you. Thanks.
Thank you,
Thanks for the
thank
link
you.
too.
You can stop the recording, Abby.
Oh, sorry.